Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Communications says it's left without a choice but to dissolve the SABC board, and an unprotected strike over bonuses turns violent at Exxaro's Grootgeluk coal mine in Limpopo. I'm Richard Brooks. Parliament's Portfolio Committee on Communications says it's left without a choice but to dissolve the SABC board, now left with only 3 members, and establish an interim board. The committee's chairperson Eric Gulwane held an urgent media briefing in Parliament shortly after President Jacob Zuma's announcement that he had accepted the resignation of 6 board members. Their resignation follows that of the board's chairperson Ben Gubane and his deputy Tami Kaplaiki last week. Gulwane explains.
The second scenario is that now, because you still have other board members who are remaining but they can't meet, what do you call that? You call a board? Yes, they were appointed to a board, but they are not meeting a quorum. So what do you do? So the Legal Service of Parliament, they are battling with those questions, which I've asked them, so that they provide answers for the committee. Do we still consider to have a board if we have 3 remaining out of 12? Whereas they can't meet, they can't take any decision. The committee of the board can't meet, can't do anything.
An unprotected strike over bonuses has turned violent at Exxaro's Grootgeluk coal mine in Limpopo. More than 15 people have been injured and about 10 arrested. Police used rubber bullets and pepper spray to control the miners who were protesting outside the mine. Jabulani Beloy reports.
Some of the injured miners have been taken to a hospital at Marapong Township, while others sustained minor injuries. The 10 people arrested include the non-branch leaders at the Grootgeluk mine. Those arrested are expected to be charged with public violence when they appear in court. The situation is tense. Meanwhile, the strike over bonuses at Exxaro's 5 coal mines in Limpopo and Mpumalanga has entered into its 10th day. For SABC News, I'm Jabulani Beloy.
24 people who died in a bus accident in the Hex River Pass near the Durins in the Boland have all been identified by their families. The identification process officially ended yesterday. The Khayelitsha church members were returning from a gathering in Secunda when the bus veered off the road and crashed last Friday. Meanwhile, the Western Cape Transport Department says it's probing possible driver error and the roadworthiness of the bus. Spokesperson Sepasihle Dube.
What we can see now is that the roadworthy certificate had in fact expired, which is a serious cause of concern. But Minister Carlisle also noted that it is, from what we have gathered thus far, and again I know the investigation is ongoing, that it's very clear that there was a very large part, a very big part played by driver error or the element of driver error in causing the crash, and we'll continue to probe further.
UN Chief Ban Ki-moon has appointed Ireland's Mary Robinson as his special envoy for the Great Lakes region of Africa. Robinson will play a key role in helping to implement the peace, security and cooperation framework for the DRC and the region. Showan Bryce Pease has more.
Mrs. Robinson is well known on the international stage, having served as President of Ireland in the 90s and as UN High Commissioner for Human Rights from 1997 to 2002. She currently serves alongside Archbishop Desmond Tutu as a member of the well-respected Elders Group and serves on the board and prize committee of the Mo Ibrahim Foundation. In accepting the position, Robinson said she planned to work closely with leaders of the region in ensuring that the presence of all combatants in their territories is addressed by their respective governments in the context of the UN Framework Agreement signed in Addis Ababa in February. Showan Bryce Pease, SABC News, New York.